Welcome to the Manchester's Blue Show. We've got Tom Young. How are we doing, my friend?
Yeah, not so bad, mate. Not so bad.
And Dan Halifax, loving the hat, pal. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you, lads.
Good. I wanted to have a quick chat to you tonight, and it is a quick, brief one. Over last night, I was lying in bed, as I do, thinking about City next to my beautiful wife. First thing comes to mind is City and the Barnsley Beckenbauer, and everything John Stones, lads. I've been so impressed with his rejuvenation. It's like a new signing, and he's been absolutely bloody brilliant for us. Easily the most improved player in our squad. And it's a situation now where I'm having a crisis of confidence whether I want Laporte and Diaz or John Stones and Diaz against United on Saturday. It's got to be John Stones, hasn't it? I mean, I really want to talk to you in a moment about something else, but let's just talk about a couple of minutes about who you play in central defence against United.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? It really is a tricky one, and I think if you'd have said at the start of the season that the debate would be between a fit Aymeric Laporte or a fit John Stones, I think City fans would have laughed at you. But the way he's played at the minute, and again, people say, yeah, it's only been Burnley, it's only been Fulham, it's only been whoever, Marseille. You can only play against the teams that are put in front of you, and regardless of who he's coming up against, he's doing the job, and he's putting in 8, 9 out of 10 performances for the past few weeks. So for me, it seems strange to think that we'd leave a fit Laporte out of the squad, especially given last season. But I can't look past John Stones and Diaz starting at the weekend.
A fully fit and focused John Stones. Dan, you said last year, you said a couple of podcasts ago that you want to see John Stones more of him over Garcia. What's your thoughts? I'm assuming you're sticking by that and you're very proud of your statement.
Yeah, well, I said this last year when a lot of people were saying drop John Stones, get rid of him, bring Garcia in. And that's not to slag Garcia off, just to big John Stones up. I said at the time, he's a young lad, Garcia. He's only little. And I just thought he'd struggle with physicality at Premier League. And the games he has played this season, Garcia, you can tell that. You can tell he struggled against the Premier League attackers. Now, John, I didn't expect him to become this reliable. I thought it'd be a bit of a long process. And even hinted at maybe a loan spell to sort his head out. But fair play to the lad. He's come in. He's made that centre-back position his own. I don't think he'll play against United. Not that he's at that he doesn't deserve to be. I made a post today about it. He still deserves to play, but with him playing midweek, do you think I don't know. I've got a feeling Pep will go with Diaz and Laporte. But, like Tom says, to be even having this conversation just shows how much of an improvement he's done.
Yeah, absolutely. City have won all 8 games that John Stones has played this season, conceding only once in 525 games. Honestly, the stats don't lie, lads. I've said that. I say that every time. I don't think there's many centre backs in the Premier League at the moment over the quality of John Stones, and that's a bold statement for somebody who's been made of glass the last couple of seasons.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's something else I thought. Is it worth risking John Stones to have a knee injury, a niggle, for him to be playing twice in 1 week? That was my only concern with him as well. I don't want him to relapse into a bad injury and be out for 3 months or whatever.
It's funny, isn't it? Because I before last night's game, I had it in my head that John Stones was going to be with Diaz at centre-back. And then Garcia got injured, so we had to bring John Stones on. Would that opportunity of him playing and the potential of a niggling injury afterwards stop him from playing on Saturday? Would put Laporte over him. Who would you take at the moment if both Laporte and John Stones had a full week off before a big match? Who would you play?
For me, I'd go with John Stones just on form, but I think that it's a good issue to have, because we know that if John Stones plays, he's coming into it on the back of good form, so you'd expect him to carry that form on. If Laporte plays, Laporte knows that he's got to step in and put in a big performance to keep his place. And that's a great issue to have, is that we've got 2 players, both of whom want to be starting, both who are good enough to start on current form and on what we know they're capable of. So whoever plays, I fully back to have a really good game. I think Laporte needs a good game. He was at fault, I'd say, for definitely the first, if not both, of the goals against Spurs when we got beat 2-0. So Yeah, it's a good dilemma to have. But yeah, I thought when we saw Stones play against Wolves, I genuinely thought that he was being played to put him in the shop window to see if any clubs had come in for him towards the back end. I'm not sure if the transfer window had shut or for January anyway, just to show that he's fit. And again, I think when we seen him play against sort of Burnley, I thought again it's sort of we're using him, give Laporte a rest, show that Stones is fit to try and move him on in January. But if he's playing like he's playing, we spent a lot of money on him, and we forget how good he was, especially in that 2017 season. When we pissed the league, he's a very good player, and when he's fit, he's one of the best centre halves around. So playing like this, I don't see how you can drop him. But then you are right with what you're saying about his injuries. Would Pep want to play him 3 times in a week? I'm not so sure. If he hadn't have come on last night, I think I'd have nailed him on the team sheet for Saturday. But with him coming on last night, I think it does put a different situation into Pep's head. I wouldn't like to put any money on who I think will start, because it's a 50-50 for me.
So coming on to the point in hand why I wanted to talk to you, is for me, John Stones is in the form of his life, and England, for me, don't have a solid centre-back option other than Maguire. And who's the lad? 𝒂𝒏𝒔𝒍𝒆𝒚? Is it 𝒂𝒏𝒔𝒍𝒆𝒚? Yeah, and there's one or two other names that are out there. But if he carries on in this vein of form, he stays injury-free. He's already booked his place on the plane, hasn't he? He's got to be back in for England contention.
Well, I think he'd go anyway. What he offers, the thing is, right, and it was Kevin De Bruyne that said this. Do you remember that bollock he dropped at League of Nations? He did that back pass, didn't he, against Holland, I think it was.
Yeah, it was Holland.
And everybody made a big deal about it. And De Bruyne went, yeah, but we play like that every week. He says he didn't have Pickford. He had Pickford to pass to. He says if that were at City, you'd have had Fernandinho, Mendy, the others like Company or Laporte or Edison all wanting the ball. John Stones got put in his position where nobody wanted the ball. So he does look like he can drop a bollock for England. I'm not going to say he don't, but how much he's coming out and passing the ball and like his distribution is second to none for a centre-back. I mean, I ain't got the stats in front of me, but I'm sure he's like 95, 96% pass accuracy every game he's played this season. So
he's been fantastic. He's been who would be your centre back lineups for England at the minute then? Maguire and Stones.
I'd rather have John Stones on his own. Yeah, I think it's got to be Maguire. I mean, I don't know why Southgate persistently plays with his back three, but I think if it were a back three, it'd be Stones, Maguire and Walker. Walker's played well there.
Walker and Stones at the back for England excites me.
I was just going to say, that's something that surely Southgate's got to look at as a positive thing, that they're playing alongside each other for the club. Say he does stay fit and say he does stay in the starting 11 and he plays the rest of the season, taking him into the Euros with Kyle Walker, where they played alongside each other for the vast majority of the year, has got to be a good thing. And it's something that if he does stay fit, you've got to have him go. I think Gomez on his day is all right. He can also, for use Dan's phrase, he can drop a bollock. Like he does. He's not the most secure of centre halves, Gomez, and I'd sooner have an informed John Stones over an informed Joe Gomez. So Harry Maguire's always going to start. There's no question about that. It's just that second spot is really up for grabs, though. And if he can stay fit and if he can stay informed, there's no reason why he shouldn't take that role when we do head into the Euros in the summer.
Yeah, completely agree. Well, lads, this was only a quick one tonight. I wanted to get your thoughts on John getting an opportunity to fight his place back for England. But as long as we're concerned, it's an absolute no-brainer. He stays fit and healthy and carries on his form. He's one of the first names on the team sheet for us. Fantastic.
The England dropping might have done us a favour. He might have sat down and thought about it. So really, we owe Southgate a thank you for pulling John Stone's head out his arse. It's not
often we thank Southgate, is it, for anything?
Just another quick one as well is just that the mentality of John Stones isn't credited enough. To think that he came into this season as our fifth choice centre half behind obviously Diaz, Paul, Ake, and obviously Garcia. He's been helped by the fact there's been injuries to Garcia, which has given him the opportunity to get minutes that maybe if Ake hadn't got injured, he wouldn't have got. But for him to have the mentality to keep pushing throughout the summer and to keep fighting for a place, he could have easily spat his dummy out and sort of said, I want a transfer. I'm not playing. I'm gonna not turn up for training. Get me out of the club. And he's not. And he's sat there and he's gone. You know what? Like you said, I'm gonna pull my socks up and I'm gonna click on and try and get a place in the team. And he's done that. And I think that sort of mentality is what you want at the club. You want players. A stark contrast to Garcia, who was given an opportunity and has said, "No, I'm not staying. I'm going to leave, no matter what you offer me." Stones has gone. You know what? I'm not sort of in the plans at the minute, but I'm going to make sure that I am in your plans. And like I say, they're the players that you want wearing the shirt. They're the players that you are going to go out there and put 100% in every week. So with that mentality, there's no reason why he should find himself out of the squad again.
Absolutely right. Right, lads, well, I love you and leave you. We've got the Manchester in Blue show later on, which we'll talk to you about. But thank you very much for joining me, and we'll speak to you soon.
See you later, lads.
Cheers, boys. Bye-bye. Bye.